Alright, ladies and gentlemen, this is Dan from Dan's Reviews coming back for The Walking Dead Season 4, Episode 4, Indifference review. This is a fantastic episode. Spoiler warning if you have not seen this episode, but I mean, we're going into the 8th season of The Walking Dead now, so I'm pretty sure you should be caught up by now. So anyway, also because we've been on break for like so many months now. So, alright guys. This episode was absolutely amazing. I love Indifference. Now, I can't say this is better than Isolation. I can't say that. But it's still a fantastic episode. I love this little 5-episode set where you got the illness stuff. I love it. But this episode, you kind of step back from that. You don't focus as much on that. You focus more on like kind of out on a run type of episode. But you got two groups out on a run, and it's kind of interesting, to be honest. I like this episode a lot. So, you got two groups in this episode. The first group is Darryl, Michonne, Tyreese, and Bob, who were out in the last episode. They're still out looking for the medicine now, which is probably, honestly, my favorite group in this episode, because Carol and Rick, all they do is run into a group, and then, well, of course, the ending is big with them, too, though, when Carol, of course, has to leave, but the rest of the stuff was just okay. It wasn't that great. But, honestly, aside from Carol leaving, the rest of the episode that I actually enjoyed more would be the stuff with Darryl, Michonne, Tyreese, and Bob. I really enjoyed what they did with them in this episode. So, let's get into this episode. My favorite character from this episode, as usual, in this episode for me, I'm gonna have to give it again to Tyreese. I really enjoyed Tyreese in this episode. Just like last episode, I'm picking the same character for this one because Tyreese did another amazing job in this episode. Tyreese, I think, has been doing a great job in The Walking Dead, and a lot of people complain about TV Tyreese. They say he's not as great as the comics, but I gotta disagree with this one. I mean, he was amazing in this episode. He killed it. He really did. He killed it. It was a great performance. I thought that Chad Coleman did a really great job as Tyreese in this episode, and I thought that it was very appreciated, at least by me. So okay. Now, also my favorite Walker kill from this episode would have to be the one where you have Michonne and she's trying to save Tyreese because he's trying to commit suicide, and you got her who chops the head off the zombie, and it's like just rolling around. I love that. That's so funny. Everybody's just looking at it rolling around. So, anyway, let's get into this episode. So we got Carol talking to Lizzie, say, keep your knife, in front of your shirt so it's easier to grab. I like when she calls her mom. She's like, don't do that. Don't call me mom. That was some interesting dialogue there, actually, I will admit. So we got Rick and Carol. Rick already knows what he's going to do, but Carol has no idea that he's going to kick her out. He might, she might have an idea that Rick may not talk to her very much during the run there, but she understands why, but I'm pretty sure she thinks that it's pretty stupid for him to let her go, but she does it because she respects Rick. So a fantastic twist at the end of this episode. Definitely have to mention that. Really did not see that coming at all. So okay, now, of course, in this episode, we have them two go out. They run into, they go to this house, and then they run into this kid and this, female as well. And the female has, like, a broken ankle, and the kid has, like, a twisted or whatever kind of arm. Something's going on with his arm, and, Rick's pointing the gun. I like how he he puts the gun up, but it's his left hand. It made me think exactly right there. When I saw him point the gun at them up the stairs, but he was using his left hand, I was immediately thinking of the panel of the comics where Rick was getting his hand chopped off by the governor, because I'm like, oh man, are they trying to tell us that they're going to cut off Rick's hand in the TV show as well? And they still haven't done it, and I don't know if they will, to be honest. It's still possible, but I think it's honestly starting to get a little old, to be honest, that I think they won't do it now. It just reminded me of that. So they talk and they say, okay, well, we're going to go back to our camp, and then we'll meet up with you in a couple hours, stay at the house or whatever, stay here. But then Carol and Rick kind of go off, and I like when Rick talks about Lori, and he says that she used to make these terrible pancakes on Saturday or whatever. I like to hear some of that backstory, which is pretty cool, like before the apocalypse even. So then they go and they're ready to go back, and we see that Rick's about to do it, but then he sees the leg, right? And then he's like, oh god, and he sees her that she just got eaten, and they're like, where's the boy? And they never find him again until Terminus. So that is pretty interesting and very creepy too, though, I gotta admit. Very, very creepy. Yeah, definitely very interesting. So then you have Rick, who basically says, you're leaving, that type of deal, and I had to do something. No, you didn't, and he's like, if I can't have you there, I like it though. He has his reasons, and I actually do appreciate that, and that's why I like Rick so much, is because he's not just doing it because he doesn't like Carol. He does like Carol. He kind of has to do it, he kind of has to, like, how's he going to face Tyreese, like, seriously, how is she going to face Tyreese? She probably wouldn't be able to face Tyreese, because Tyreese probably wouldn't have it, so, because he's so frustrated about it, so, yeah, I definitely do understand, why Rick did that. So we have Carol, who goes off. We actually don't see her for, let's see, like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, yeah, like 5 episodes before she returns again. So, yeah, she leaves for a good bit, but comes back into the story after the prison's gone. So, yeah, she's gone for a little bit. It's so interesting, though, I gotta say. It's very interesting, just the drama between them two. So, okay, now we got Darryl's group. We already talked about the, the whole bush part, but they're looking for the medicine, right? And you have the parts where they're looking, and you have Carol, and she takes off, but then you have they're going back and forth, right? And you have them looking for the medicine. They find the medicine, they get out of there, but they're getting chased by walkers. They go on like the top of this roof building thing, and you see Bob, who drops his bag, and they're like, Bob, just leave it, and he won't leave it, and they're wondering why he's doing this, and Darryl notices the liquor, and he threatens him. You take one sip, and I'll beat your butt to the ground. So that was pretty cool. So I love that, though. I love it. Darryl's not playing any games, and so they go there, and then, they just go in the car, and they kind of leave, and they go back to the prison, but they only get back to the prison next episode. So, still great stuff with them. Very exciting, though, especially the stuff with Bob and Darryl. Oh, man, that is intense. So, and I like when Bob talks to Darryl about how, both groups he was with, he was the last one standing, kind of makes Darryl think about it for a second. He's like, oh, well, could you be the last one standing? Like, he's kind of like, oh, man, could this guy outlive me? He's kind of wondering. So, anyway, guys, this is a fantastic episode of The Walking Dead. Of course, go back and watch this episode, because this is another great episode of The Walking Dead. And I will see you guys later for another Walking Dead video. Maybe tomorrow, maybe later on today. I'm not sure. Depends on if I get the time. So, I'll see you guys really soon. Peace.